Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round 3 of the League Challenge that happened at Die Hard Games on February 15th, 2024. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format anyone wants, really. More info in the description. League Cup, Saturday, February 24th at 11 a.m., and Temporal Forces Prerelease is starting Saturday, March 9th at 1 p.m., all Central Time, all at Die Hard Games, and check out Pokemon's event locator for premier events at the shop such as League Challenges, League Cups, and Prereleases. Please hit that like button right quick, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good free stuff. But anyways, let's get into this game. Our player on the right instantly plays a Hisuian Heavy Ball to liberate a Gibble from the prize cards. The Hisuian Heavy Ball switch places with Gibble. The prizes are shuffled and laid back down. Gibble put onto the bench. Nest Ball being played to search the deck for a basic Pokemon to put onto the bench. And yes, we jumped right into this new archetype, or at least uncommonly seen archetype, but that's what I love about the local challenges. You get to see some cool stuff. Nest Ball played, finds that Gibble, it hits the bench, and play is passed over to the darkness. Starts things off with that Pokestop. Pokestops the stadium. Either player can use it, of course. When they use it, discard the top 3 cards of the deck, and then add any item cards that are discarded in this way to the hand. So 2 Dark Energy go into the discard pile, and a Earthen Vessel going into the hand. Very good with this dark deck here, as that's where they want the Darkness Energy in the discard pile to be accelerated with Glaring Moltres V and or Dark Patch. Earthen Vessel will be played here. You discard a card in order to use it, and then you search your deck for up to 2 basic energy to add to the hand. Boss's Orders getting discarded here. Not the worst thing, as there's things like Palpad to recycle it, as well as this deck playing Crossfever, I believe. We'll get into that as it becomes relevant, of course, and if we actually see it. So 2 Darkness Energy hitting the hand here. Darkness Energy attached to the active Roaring Moon EX, and Professor Sada's Vitality will be played to accelerate a Darkness Energy from the discard pile to that Roaring Moon EX, that ancient Pokemon, and 3 cards will be drawn. Then that Battle VIP Pass is found. That card you can only play on your first turn, but when you do, search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon to add to the bench. Squawkabilly EX and Radiant Greninja will be found here. 2 Rule Box Pokemon coming out and joining the party. That Squawkabilly is going to make something like a turn 1 attack more realistic. Radiant Greninja uses its Concealed Cards ability to discard an energy and draw 2 cards. We're looking for something like Galarian Moltres and Cross Switcher here, assuming this version of the deck plays all that stuff. Morpeko with Free Retreat hits the bench there. Switch card, okay. Actually, we might be able to get there in lots of different ways. Switch card moves the active basic Salamence to the bench, and Morpeko takes its place with Free Retreat. Dang, we got the double Cross Switcher in hand too. No need to play it though, as Squawkabilly's Squawk and Seize is used. You can only use that ability on your first turn. When you do, discard the hand and draw 6 new cards. Dark Patch is found, so we have a turn 1 attack here. Dark Patch accelerates a Darkness Energy from the discard pile to one of your bench Darkness Pokemon. That Roaring Moon is fully powered up and ready to attack. You can even use its Calamity Storm attack for 100, as that Gibble has less than 100 HP. You could even discard the Stadium for the boosted damage, not because you need it, but just to deny your opponent access to the Stadium on their turn. But before all that, Earthen Vessel will be played discarding another darkness energy and pulling 2 more darkness energy out of that deck. Turn 1 going pretty smoothly for our darkness player, I'd say. Both of those darkness energy discarded with an Ultra Ball that allows the player to search their deck for a Pokemon card, and a Darkrai V is found and put onto the bench. I believe they play a 1/1 line here in this deck at least, giving this deck access to Darkrai V-Star's V-Star power, which we'll get into when it becomes relevant. Morpeko free retreats into that Roaring Moon EX, and Calamity Storm discarding the Stadium, taking the KO on the opposing Gible. Gible promoted into the active spot, and the Gible player instantly plays a Professor's Research to discard the hand and draw 7 fresh new cards. A Rare Candy and Garchomp EX are found. Rare Candy lets you skip that middle evolution and go straight to the Garchomp EX. Ooh, that Professor Research is supposed to be in the discard pile. Yep. And it looks like only 6 cards were drawn off the Research, I believe. Let's take a look at that. Alright, let's see if we could tell. Research played, hand discarded. I didn't see how many cards were drawn there as they drew them one by one, but we'll check it out here. Alright, got the KO. Thank you guys for your patience in the Professor's Lab as we research today. Professor's Research 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, just only 6 cards were drawn, so just some confusion with the Professor's Research being out on the field. Simple, honest mistakes here. All good. Okay, 7 cards in hand, but yep, now we got 6 cards in hand, and 1 more drawn off of that Research. And there we go. All clean and clear here now, as we evolve up into that Garchomp EX, thanks to the Rare Candy. A Fighting Energy is attached to the Garchomp EX, powering it up. Garchomp EX has the Hydrolander attack. 1 Fighting Energy, 160 damage. Attach up to 3 basic Fighting Energy from your discard pile to your bench Pokemon in any way you like. That Garchomp EX also has Free Retreat, 320 HP. Very efficient. Efficient to the max, let's say. So 160 damage on the opposing Roaring Moon. And there is a Fighting Energy in the discard pile that can be accelerated to the bench Gible, and play will resume over on Roaring Moon's side. So we definitely wanted to see some more Pokemon get established on the board over on Garchomp EX's side, but at least we got to evolve and attack. Now if the opposing Roaring Moon EX uses its Frenzied Gouging attack to take the KO on the Garchomp EX, it would have to knock itself out also. It's pretty heads up play here. Let's see how our Roaring Moon player can respond. Definitely want to establish another Roaring Moon this turn if possible. But actually going to go for a Cross Switcher. Okay, Cross Switcher, you have to play 2 of them at the same time. And when you do, you choose a new active Pokemon from one of the opponent's bench Pokemon, and then you move one of your bench Pokemon to the active spot. So Guzma, that Cross Switcher brings up the Gible on the bench. The Roaring Moon that's damaged moves back to the active spot, and Calamity Storm for KO. Garchomp EX against the world as an Iono is played. Both players shuffle their hands, put them at the bottom of the deck, and then draw cards equal to their remaining prize cards. Iono player gets 6 in this case, and the Roaring Moon player gets 4. Let's see if we got some more basics. There we go, that Terrakion hits the board. Solid single prize attacker. Nest Ball being found and played as well. Terrakion has to be red. I'll go ahead and read it to you guys here. Terrakion, 130 HP, basic single prize attacker for 2 fighting and a colorless energy, has the Cavern Tackle attack for 120 damage. During your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage from attacks done to this Pokemon. If one of your Pokemon used Cavern Tackle during your last turn, this attack can't be used. So, more than solid attacker in the correct instances here. So let's see it in action if we can. Nest Ball finds a Radiant Greninja from the deck to add to the field here onto the bench. And are we going to go and conceal some cards? Oh, very good synergy here to get the fighting energy in the discard pile with the Greninja. And it's concealed cards, discard an energy, draw 2 cards, fighting energy manually attached to the bench Terrakion. And that Garchomp EX uses its Hydrolander attack to finish up knocking out that active Roaring Moon, accelerating some energy to the bench. Morpeko with free retreat put into the active spot, and play resumes over on the darkness side. Earthen Vessel being played now, discarding a Battle VIP pass to search the deck for 2 fighting energy, darkness energy. Fail there, as there's no more energy in the deck, I believe. Player can also choose to fail if they want to. Roaring Moon hits the bench here. Pokestop put into play, and Trekking Shoes being played to draw a card. They can keep it or discard it and draw 1 more card. Lost Vacuum discarded, another card drawn and kept. Hopefully it was better than that Lost Vacuum. No real need to play Lost Vacuum here, I guess, as Pokestop is played. Let's reveal the top 3, and they are all items. All of them go into the hand. Beautiful Pokestop there. Our player consults the discard pile, seeing what resources have been used, what they might have available. I think I saw 4 cross switchers in that discard pile with the early discard of them. Dark Patch being played to accelerate an energy from the discard onto the bench. Roaring Moon. Another Trekking Shoes being played to draw another Dark Patch, and that's kept and played. So we're almost powering up this Roaring Moon here. 2 energy on it so far. Ooh, and an Ultra Ball in hand. I think that's it for our Roaring Moon player for this turn at least. Yeah, really nothing. I guess we got the Darkrai V-Star. Okay. But let's see if they choose to use its V-Star power this turn. Yep. Alright, while they're debating it, we'll go ahead and check out Darkrai V-Star. It has the V-Star power ability, Star Abyss. During your turn, you may put up to 2 item cards from your discard pile into your hand. You can't use more than 1 V-Star power per game. So, a Dark Patch and something else can be put back into the hand to fully power up that Roaring Moon. Morpeko has the retreat, so Roaring Moon can move into the active spot and take the KO, but it will have to use Frenzied Gouging to do so, doing 200 damage to itself. Let's see what our player decides to do here. They're eyeing up the Cross Sievers as well, but actually just going to go for the sure, guaranteed double Dark Patch. Dark Patch number 1, accelerating an energy to that Roaring Moon. The other Dark Patch accelerating energy to the Darkrai V-Star. Morpeko free retreats into that fully powered Roaring Moon, and Roaring Moon uses its Frenzied Gouging attack to instantly knock out the opponent's active Pokemon while dealing 200 damage to itself, leaving with 30 HP remaining. Terrakion put into the active spot on the other side, and play resumes there. We got a Pat to the Peak for turn, for the draw for turn. Hisuian Heavy Ball being played to look at those prizes. Once more, nothing to be liberated there, so the Hisuian Heavy Ball goes to the discard pile. Pokestop being used next to look at the top 3, and all 3 misses. Ouch! That hand must have not been very strong, as the Pokestop was needing to be played. Pat to the Peak, countering that Pokestop, shutting off Rulebox Pokemon abilities a turn too late, as that Darkrai sneaked in that Star Abyss before that Pat to the Peak was ever seen. Our Garchomp player checking their discard pile, seeing what's up there. And a Professor's Research being played, discarding that hand and digging deeper into the deck once more. A replacement Gibble is found and put onto the bench. Energy attached to it. That's just what our player needed here. A Earthen Vessel being played, discarding a useless Manaphy in this matchup to search the deck for 2 fighting energy, okay, to add to the hand. We're getting those energy where we want, out of the deck, and then making the top decks that much sweeter. Thinning is winning, etc. And I think we just have a Terrakion attack. Oh, with a Grant. Okay. Alright. Well, Grant's going to be played. Grant, let's see if I can remember what that one does. So it's a supporter card. If it's in your discard pile, you can discard 2 cards from your hand in order to return Grant to your hand. So that's good because it's a synergy with getting fighting energy in the discard pile and with the Garchomp attack. Plus the damage buff. We don't need the buff in this case, so it's mostly just to get those energy in the discard pile. And the Terrakion takes the KO with Cavern Tackle on the opposing Roaring Moon EX. 2 prizes taken, evening things up here in this endgame of round 3 of the challenge. Morpeko with Free Retreat moves to the active spot and play resumes over on the darkness side. Let's see how they can respond. Start by taking a look at the discard pile, seeing what resources have been used, what they might have available, downloading as much information as they can to better inform their next move, which is Nest Ball. Searching the deck for a basic Pokemon to add to the bench. Another Roaring Moon is established with that. Joining the party on the bench and shuffling things up here. Now, who do we want to take the KO with? Probably the Darkrai. What's Darkrai weak to? Grass? Yep, not fighting. Oh, I guess the Garchomp is water anyway, so we got all kinds of different things going on here. Either way, Iono is a supporter per turn. Both players shuffle their hand, put them at the bottom of their deck, and then draw cards equal to the remaining prize cards. Both players getting 2 cards off of that Iono here. And yeah, I guess we just want to attack with that Darkrai. It's got the most HP. It can... Oh, it can't take the KO yet. Okay, I'm just assuming it has the KO. So Darkrai V-Star then has the Dark Pulse attack. It costs 2 colorless, and it does 30 plus, 30 more damage for each darkness energy attached to all of your Pokemon. If Darkrai V-Star is powered up, Dark Pulse is doing base 90 damage. Terrakion has 130 HP. So let's see how our Darkness player can flood the board with energy here. And if not, just power up a Roaring Moon and take the KO with that. Lots of Dark Patch and Acceleration have been used already, so starting things off with a Super Rod to shuffle back 3 Darkness Energy from the discard pile into the deck. Guess that's step 1 for getting more Darkness Energy. The Darkrai V-Star power was already used, so no more seeing more Dark Patches. And I think that's it. Morpeko manually retreats into the Radiant Greninja, 1 prizer, and passes things over. Now, the good news is Terrakion cannot use its Cavern Tackle attack again, since it used it last turn. So we're forcing a retreat plus a rare candy Garchomp here. I'm guessing it was not found as our Garchomp player did not slam it down. So switch cart, switching into that Radiant Greninja, taking some notes from their opponents last turn and passing things over. Okay. Battle VIP pass in hand, and I think a switch cart was top decked, or escape rope. Escape rope was top decked. So both of our players kind of in a similar situation here, drawing and passing, putting up that Radiant Greninja. Our Garchomp player passes things over to our Darkness player once more. Let's see, a Darkness Energy was drawn for turn, so that of course gets attached to the bench Darkrai V-Star, and passing things over. Looks like Boss's Orders was drawn by our Garchomp player. Terrakion can attack this turn, but no way to get it into the active, so pass things over back to our Darkness player. Gotta love when these things happen in the Pokemon trading card game. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. I'm loving it. Double Battle VIP pass in hand as our Darkness player passes things over to our Garchomp player, who then plays a Nest Ball to search the deck for a basic Pokemon to put onto the bench. Really no more needed. I guess another Garchomp would have been ideal here, but mostly playing that Nest Ball to get that card out of the deck, thin that deck out, and make the draws that much sweeter as things are passed back over to our Darkness player. Who's going to draw out of this first? Ultra Ball being top decked, discarding those two useless Battle VIP passed. Perfect. To search the deck for a Pokemon. None is found, but we did thin those cards out of the hand. Couldn't get another card out of the deck with the Ultra Ball, but that's okay. Mew EX would be very nice here, huh? As things are passed over to our Garchomp player. They play an Ultra Ball, discarding a couple cards to search the deck for that. Oh my goodness. Alright, let me back up. So first of all, the Mew EX, yes, that would be nice, but I believe there is a Path to the Peak in play, shutting down its restart ability, so that's something to consider. So Mew EX plus, Counter Stadium would be nice, right? Next, we found that Great Tusk. Is that what it is? Yep, Great Tusk EX. Okay, the shiny one. We'll see if that becomes relevant here as our player reads it. Let's read it too. It has the Quaking Demolition ability. Once at the end of your turn after you attack, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you must discard the top 5 cards of your deck. 250 HP Ancient Pokemon. Also has the Great Bash attack for 1 fighting and 3 colorless, 260. This attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So just a big dude that swings hard. Discards your cards from the top of your deck, thinning your deck out but passing things over to our Darkness player, who plays a Professor Sawdust Vitality to accelerate a Darkness energy from the discard pile to that Ancient Roaring Moon, then draw 3 cards. I think our Darkness player drew out of it first, potentially. But 2 prize cards remaining to be taken. No multi-prize Pokemon on the opponent's side of the field, so we're not going to see the game end this turn. Let's see, Dark Patch found and accelerates an energy onto that Roaring Moon EX from the discard pile. Trekking Shoes played here to draw a card. Discard that Ultra Ball to draw 1 more card and keep it. Crossseaver found. That's good. For future turn, Escape Rope now being played. The opponent promotes a Terrakion with no energy. The Darkrai V-Star comes into the active spot. I'm pretty sure we're doing enough damage to take the KO now. And Dark Pulse for 12, 13, 14, 15, 150 damage. More than enough to KO the 130 HP Terrakion. The other Terrakion with the energy comes to the active spot and play resumes over on its side. We got the Cavern Tackle ready to go and protection, but we need more board built up if we want to come back in this game. If we can come back in this game. Kind of hard to see a comeback here when the opponent has only 1 prize card to take and a Roaring Moon just about ready to go, but gonna go ahead and Cavern Tackle for 120 damage, and during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage from attacks done to this Pokemon. So we need a Gust, Boss's Orders, Escape Rope, something. As Trekking Shoes is played, to draw a card, we're going to keep that Darkness energy, attach it to that Roaring Moon, manually retreat into it, and Roaring Moon takes the KO on the opposing Terrakion. Last prize of the game and the game itself. What do you guys think of this video and the commentary? Please let me know in the comments. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.